welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by some of the best analysis in the business. Give it up for the world champ himself, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We got the multi-world champion, a multi-champion, a legend and icon to the Call of Duty scene, Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. We got the executive producer of The Flank, Mr. Benjay Nassim. And today we got a special guest in the building. You saw him on yesterday's show. You guys were showing him a lot of love yesterday. Give it up for the multi-champion, the Iceman, Lamar Betty, a.k.a. Accuracy, head coach of Cloud9. What's going on, Lamar? What's happening?
What a fucking intro out of you, Tom.
Yes, sir, man. Multi-champ, the Iceman. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Look, they're booing you. They're throwing tomatoes. No, there's some Lamars in there.
Throw the tomatoes, man. Throw the tomatoes.
How you doing, Lamar? You doing all right?
Yeah, doing good, bro. It was a good day of matches. There's some some good gruelers.
Hell yeah, bro. I appreciate you coming on. We got Mr. Benjay Nassim in the building. Ben, how you doing, brother? It was actually a pretty quick day today, Ben. We were kind of smooth sailing today.
Yeah, it was a good day. Woke up, watched Tottenham play a hilarious FA Cup match. Then I went and got a bagel. Bagel was great. And then I've been streaming all day.
Did Tottenham win today, or did they get fucking shit on?
Yeah, they won. But they played like a 5th division club on the road in the FA Cup on a plastic pitch. Like, Tom, it was just comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
real FA Cup magic going on.
Then I heard El Clasico today, too. Barcelona smoked Real Madrid, eh?
Belt to ass, Tom. Belt to ass.
Yeah, I mean, Real Madrid, those guys are terrible right now. I don't know what's going on with those guys. Duarte, how you doing, Duarte? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Pretty much just woke up and immediately watched the matches up until this point. Nothing special, but yeah, I mean, the minor was good, and it was a fun tournament, man. I'm really hoping that the quality of the matches that we've had continues to be good as the league progresses, because we've just been having a lot of game vibes and a lot of banger series. So it's better than watching league matches, but it's pretty much damn near the same sometimes. I don't know.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's definitely nice to have a switch up. I just wish it was just like a double elim online tournament. Like that would just like. It's like you're getting like the sundae without the cherry on top. Like, just put the cherry, bro. You already did it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be better if they were double elim, but it would probably take a while, huh? If it was double elim, it probably wouldn't play out as smooth as it did this weekend. I do agree with Ben. It kind of felt like league matches in a way. But I think the one difference between this and league matches is you get more top team matchups. Like, obviously, like as the top teams progress up the bracket, like you get more of those better matchups that you want to see. Where when you're watching league matches, you know, sometimes you don't get those matchups that you want to see. You know what I mean?
It's not an opportunity for a shit weekend.
Yeah, pretty much. Because for the most part, unless there's some upsets, I think the top teams will get all the way to the top. You know. But what about you, Ben Duarte? You guys like them?
Yeah, the tournament was fun. I mean, it was a good watch. We have a lot of storylines that developed from this tournament. Obviously, FaZe kind of had their resurgence. They ended up winning, and then we got, you know, some stories with like Optic and the beef with like the community and the rest of the pros in terms of like talking shit. So I don't know. I mean, it was an overall W weekend. Hopefully the rest of these are like this as well.
Yeah, for sure. If you had I know BZ did get the MVP. We'll obviously go through the series, but who was a player that impressed you guys this weekend? I'll go first. Dashie impressed me for sure. Dashie was insane this weekend. He was consistently frying. I mean, besides for Abizi, who was the MVP of the event, I mean, I think Abizi's obviously the obvious one who was like really good. Besides for Abizi, who are you guys impressed with this weekend?
I got an obvious one. He's a fucking gimp, and he annoys me on a daily basis. But I think Celium played particularly good this weekend. He didn't have a particularly great December.
He picked it up.
Him and Zach really struggled, but especially as the tournament went on, Saturday and Sunday, MC got better and better. Was an absolute impact player today, so I want to give him a shout out on that front.
Yes, sir. What about you, Duarte?
I'm going to go ahead and say Estriel. I think a lot of people were highlighting Nero, and although Nero did play well this weekend, I saw Estriel step up a lot, especially in the last like 2 matches they've played. Overall, that Rokkr team, just again, I was pretty high on them in terms of the resilience and the way they approached the game, and you know they didn't disappoint, man. They went to a lot of map 5s, and they could have even beat FaZe. So.
Yeah, I said we hop right into it. We only had 3 matches today, so it shouldn't take us too long to cover it, and we'll take a look at the standings, and we'll also take a look at next week's matches as well. But we hopped into the first match of the day. Again, single elimination, right? First CDL minor tournament 1. We had the Minnesota Rokkr going up against Atlanta FaZe. This one goes all the way down to a map number 5, another map number 5. Another game 5 for Minnesota Rokkr. These guys can't stay away from game 5s, man. They go game 5 so much. We'll scroll down. We'll take a look here at the stat sheet. You had a 1.06 from Estriel, 1.10 from Geo. You had a 0.91 from Nero, and a 0.85 from Paul. I think usually you have Nero going crazy. I think he had a little bit of a rough one here. Same with Paul. But they were all still doing their thing in the damage department. And on the other side, pretty even across the board. You had Simp who had a .97, but he had the most kills in the lobby with 103 kills. And then you had a 1.04 from Draza, a 1.10 from Salium, a 1.0 from Abizi. Again, everybody pulling weight in the damage department. And MC getting your MVP for the first series of the day here. Ben, we were just talking about MC. He's really picked it up. What do you think is the biggest difference with MC now compared to like the first couple weeks? What do you think was the biggest change with his gameplay?
Guy took off the fucking metal boots and started moving on the map. I mean, the way I watch him play, especially on Protocol, he hits pinches, he makes plays like, that's where we kind of expect that pace from FaZe, and it didn't seem like they had that the first couple of weeks. And now you watch them play, they're probably one of the faster teams in Hardpoint.
What about you, Duarte? What you think of the series? We'll start with you. I know you really like these Minnesota Rokkr guys. I like them as well. I think they're a great team. How'd you think they played today?
I mean, they played pretty good. I mean, at the end of the day, the reason this team is really good is because their controls, like they got that swing mode on lock. Like I don't think they've really lost it, if lost it at all. I can't remember the last time they did. So they keep winning that mode. It keeps them alive in series. But them going up 2-1 on FaZe was huge. Like I genuinely thought they were probably going to take the series, especially with how they've been in S&D. But ultimately, that Minnesota Magic kind of wore off. I mean, their hard points were close, but they were making a lot of like fundamental mistakes and kind of relying on a lot of like gunfights and just bailouts. They do a really good job. I think the casters were highlighting it, how like they don't rotate to a lot of hills, and a lot of the time they're kind of just trying to break. And granted, they are very good breaking, and they're very good at like retaking bombs because they're essentially kind of the same, but they just got to like play a little bit more discipline and try to put themselves in more advantageous situations, because a lot of the time they're kind of just clawing back into like maps, and it's not ideal for the longevity of their like performance.
What about you, Pat? What'd you think of the series?
Yeah, I mean, this team's just gritty. I don't know. I'm surprised they went the distance. I'm curious because Duarte, you mentioned their control. Is all their control wins been like the overtime round, like 3-2, 3-2, 3-2? Was that all of their wins?
I don't know, but I do know they've been able to get victories on Vault and Protocol now. So I mean, they're a good control team regardless.
They just play teams gritty. They push it to the distance. They're obviously hard to put away. I was gonna ask. Because I wasn't really too sure. Like when Scrappy was on the watch party earlier, Tommy was mentioning like how the update changed some things. Do you think that helps a team like this Rokkr squad? Like if things get a bit easier to shoot, like because how they play so fast, like.
No, they were fine.
Is that being dragged? Is it that much? I thought it was.
Scrappy.
No,
I thought it was easy to shoot before the patch. It's always been easy to shoot.
No,
It's definitely easier to shoot.
It's definitely easier to shoot, but like that shit's like dragged. Ultimately, that shit like evens out. Like it's easier visually, but like once you like your eyes pretty much adjust to the visual, like you don't even notice it because your thumbs are pulling down the same like as they did before.
It's the same exact recoil pattern. Same thing.
The patterns are identical.
Plays at the pace like that and obviously chows that much. If things like that do get easier, then they technically would have a better time because they're used to overchowing. So
hypothetically, but those guys were pretty much they've played the same COD before the break and after the break in terms of like what they've been doing to teams and how they've been playing teams. Like nothing has changed. Their team dynamic has been the same.
Yeah, I mean the way that Minnesota Rokkr plays, like Pat, you said they're just hard to take out. They really do just keep on going. Like they don't let off the gas pedal, and I think that's like the biggest thing. I'm surprised like a lot of teams don't play like that. Like when teams see like even when you watch FaZe this weekend, like you see how much they up the pace and up the energy in their gameplay. Like Ben, I know you mentioned it during the watch party, but didn't they look so much more decisive FaZe this weekend? At least in my eyes, they looked more decisive.
I think they were just committing the plays. Like, even if it ends up being a bad play and they get 2 or 3 pieces, like at least they're like making a play on the map. It felt like at times watching them especially that second week when they lost to Carolina on that protocol, like it just felt so slow to me. So yeah, at sometimes it's gotten them in trouble. A couple of these hard points. I think they've been kind of playing 8 good minutes of 10 minute map and kind of letting teams get back a little bit about these hard points, like the red card. I think they could have played a little bit cleaner, and they kind of trolled on both rotations, the P4 and the P5s on those. But I mean, bro, if you're a FaZe fan, considering what a hard point was, you take 2 hard points in S&D, you get that any day of the week.
Lamar, let's go to you. Minnesota Rokkr, they get a top 4 placing here in the first CDL minor event. And honestly, they had a pretty good showing. I know that you scrim with the boys every day, right? You're the head coach of Cloud9, so I know you know a lot about these teams. I mean, have they been impressing you, Minnesota? Have they been a tough team to play against? What are your thoughts about these guys?
it's kind of like what Pat said. I mean, they're gritty, they're young, they play fast, they like just they play aggressive and apply that pressure. So I mean, the more they play and the more they iron it out, they'll definitely be a threat. I mean, they showed it this weekend. They had like a really close game versus FaZe, and FaZe won the tournament. Like that match couldn't be any closer.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And then on the other side, I wanted to talk about FaZe because looking at the map set, they were able to win 2 hard points in this one and the last S&D. But Control seems to be Ben. What's their record in Control right now? Atlanta FaZe. Do they got a good record on Control?
No, I think they're probably like 2-5 or 2-6. They gotta clean up vault control. Their protocol actually looked pretty good. For all things considered, we saw this weekend when they played it. I think their vault, they're losing. I feel like, and I think Scrap made a good point on the watch party. This kind of happens to all teams. I feel like their vault control, they struggled to kill that last guy. Then that last guy gets 2 kills, and at that point the floods are back in, and they just eventually just sort of lose on numbers. You see when they do get control in defense in control, like they have a good concept of how they want to play, and the movement's good. But those mixed situations just don't kind of break their way. So hopefully they can clean it up for them in the next 2 weeks before Madrid.
Yeah, for sure. Thought MC really picked it up. I mean, he played a lot better this weekend, for sure. I definitely think when you watched FaZe, I think if they can get their control down, I think that'll be like the biggest thing for them because it is a swing mode, right? Like I feel like, and you heard Nero talk about it yesterday when Minnesota got the reverse sweep. Like that, once they get that momentum from the control, like sometimes a control can like make or break you. Like so, I feel like control is like a big game mode. I really wish we had more maps, but it is what it is. We've been watching Volt Control so much. I feel like we've seen so many reps of it. And I don't know if you guys agree with me here, but I feel like teams are really getting better at defense on control. Like they're starting to lock it down now. Like people are starting to push out like B Street and start spawning people deep P2. Like people are having a hard time with that B point. Lamar, would you say that's probably the best way to play it when you get your kills? Just kind of like push out B Street, like spawn them deep and just kind of funnel them?
Yeah, I mean that just makes the most sense for any control map ever. It's always been block the closest spawn them away, and just farm them.
I always said that when we were talking about that map. I felt like at the beginning of the game, a lot of people put an emphasis on like catwalk. And then now you're starting to see people kind of put emphasis towards like B Street, getting close control in that center of the map, and just trying to funnel people essentially into just trying to like hit the right side of the map. So yeah, good to see people are starting to play that better.
Taking a look at Reddit, we actually got a KD leaderboard here from the CDL minor event. Looks like Snoopy got the number 1 KD. Look at this, a 1.23 from Snoopy.
In one series, to be fair.
Yeah, 1 series, but I think Snoopy's progression I think has been really cool to see because obviously Snoopy's always been a very mechanically good player, but you know we know like especially last year Boston had a rough patch, man. I mean Boston's actually 2 years. How many years has Boston had a rough patch? So we're finally starting to see them turning around, but just to see Snoopy at the top is really cool to see. He's been moving different, and then you see Dashy and Salium up there at numbers 2 and 3.
Diabolical duo that.
The world is healing. Purge is in the top 20.
Purge, where's he at? Purge is number 17. He had a 1.03.
It was 1 series though, right? Like for them.
Yeah. 1 series, but go ahead. Ben.
I think what's interesting when you look at this is, and something to kind of watch this week, next week, the major coming up. You know, I think there's clearly a couple of class teams, the super teams. But that next set of teams where last year we were like, upsets, I don't know, maybe a best top 6, top 4. Like, I'm not going to be surprised if 1 or 2 of those teams ends up on Sunday at the major. To you guys' point about the game changes and the map set now plays, like, it just feels like there's a lot of parity right now. I don't know if it's going to hold all year, but at the moment, everybody can kind of challenge everybody in that sort of top 8 squad of teams.
I think seeing Hook in the top 10 is pretty cool too. I think Hook's another one who like people didn't know how he was going to perform coming into the Optic team. Like people always looked at Hook as like the one guy who would, be iffy in the pro scene, and then he would go to challengers and then fry, and then, he'd kind of have like inconsistencies when playing against the pro team. I mean, he's obviously a world champ. He's gross, but I mean, there was a reason for a second there he got thrown into challengers, and to see him with a huge turnaround has been really cool to see.
I think he benefits from this game though, right? Like this, because the criticisms that people have had for Hook, depending on the game, are totally valid. But on this game, I think it's less about the, what he's been criticized for, and he run and gun, and that's what he's at. Yeah,
this game is a lot more forgiving than other CODs. For the most part, most scenarios, there's still a lot of punishing shit that you can have happen, but there's just a lot more forgiveness.
Yeah,
definitely plays with strength.
Yeah, I think the Omni movement too. Like the Omni move, I remember Kyler and AW, and just the plays he was able to make around the map. I'm kind of seeing the same Hook from back in the day, little spurts of it. So it's been really cool to see. A lot of people who've had some interesting years have turned up this year and started the year strong. So cool to see some old names up at the top. Oh, also Xnid is in the top 5, which is cool to see. One of the Falcons guys. Xnid had an insane series when he played, so that doesn't surprise me. We'll see what happens with the Falcons moving forward. I know they didn't have a lot of reps with their 2 new players that they picked up. So I expect them to, come back swinging. Hopefully they can get Kicks back in the roster as well. Any news on Kicks? Has anybody heard about him or heard what's going on there?
No idea.
No.
That kid was nice.
He's good. He's good, bro. That guy's actually good as fuck. He was definitely like their best shooter, I feel, when he was playing with the team. So it was a big loss for him. If you have Xnid shooting like that, and then you bring Kicks back in the roster, and you get some of the other guys to step up a little bit, I could definitely see Falcons maybe getting some wins on the board. But hopefully for them, they can get some wins on the board because they're winless right now. But cool to see a Falcons player in the top 5. Really cool to see that. Any thoughts on a Minnesota Rokkr and Atlanta FaZe series? Any final thoughts? I thought it was a good series. The hard points were pretty gritty. I think they were trading rotations, and there was obviously a lot of trades, very mixy. We know how Rokkr likes to play and FaZe. So watching them match up was fun to see. But FaZe got the better of them in the hard points, won the last search. I think the control is kind of where FaZe is just struggling right now. They're gonna have to fix that. But overall, a really good series. Went all the way down to the wire. Any final thoughts, guys, from anybody?
I think the hard points is kind of just where FaZe turned around their tournament and like their current like split going into the major. Like the first weekend of the league, or like even like the first 2 weekends, bro. I saw them get like 100-point clubbed multiple times. Like these guys were not looking good at hard point. They were looking pretty mid. But now, like after they lost to what is it, Miami, like Heretics, and they made that comeback, like their hard points have been like pretty flawless. Well, not flawless, but they've just been way better. They've been better. They've been putting it away. They've been putting them away instead of getting 100-point clubs. So.
Did they lose a hard point this weekend?
Yeah, they lost one to Heretics, the first one.
First one.
The first map. Yeah, first map.
That 1v4 Chris got literally changed everything, bro.
Yeah, Lamar, that's what people keep saying. People are saying that the 1v4 like changed his team, like just completely swung their momentum.
If they lost that 1v4, they would have been down 4-0 in the search, I think, right?
Yeah. They would have. I think they were down. They were down in that search when he clutched that. That was a big clutch.
They were down 3-0, and then I think they won every round after.
That's the type of moment that you could look back on in 6 months. If they go on to like do well or something, you're just gonna be like, wow, like,
yeah,
that was it right there.
That's true. That is true.
Someone saying it was 1-1.
Oh, it was tied 1-1.
It was 1-1.
Yeah, it was 1-1. I guess. I thought they were down. I was with you, Duarte. I thought they were down, Duarte.
I think the way to remark on it is you've heard multiple people on their team in interviews this weekend talk about like they're having fun, they're playing free, and I think like you won before like that, especially with someone like Chris, you just feel like you can do anything on the map, and that energy, that confidence is like infectious. And for them, when they're in flow, bro, like it's just very difficult to match.
Yeah. What's the schedule looking like, Ben, for the Minnesota Rokkr? What kind of matchups do they have coming up?
Okay, so just like everybody, Rocker's got 3 matches. They're going to play 2 the first weekend and 1 on the second weekend. And their first weekend spicy, Tom. Toronto on Friday and Atlanta FaZe on Sunday. And then Vancouver will follow up. So like, I think Minnesota right now with a 2-2 in qualifiers, I believe.
Yeah, they have a hard schedule coming up.
Yeah, so they got 2 or 3. Again, we talked about this 3 and 4 thing. Tricky schedule, but I really like this Minnesota team. I think they're a real factor this year right now.
Yeah. Anybody else have any final thoughts? Maybe on the vetoes or any final thoughts on the series? It was a good series, but Minnesota Rokkr, they get a top 4 placing. They get eliminated. FaZe moves on. Next we have Optic Carolina. If you guys don't have anything else, we'll move on to the next one.
I think the one thing I will say is, and we'll probably talk about it more like next week, but we're starting to see where the strong maps are for teams in map pools. For FaZe, for example, like based on this weekend, the Hossie looked really good, the Protocol looked really good, they won that red card, their Skyline's been pretty good when they're winning. Like you start to see now what are going to be kind of obvious veto strategies, and we can kind of use that to really inform more what we think map pools are going to be now.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on to the next series. We have Optic Texas going up against the Carolina Royal Ravens. This was another series that goes all the way down to a map 5. I feel like I've said that for every series this weekend. Just another grueler. It was Optic who came out swinging. They beat Carolina by more than 100 points in a Skylight hardpoint. Carolina with a big bounce back in the search. They're able to tie it up at 1. And then it's Optic Texas with a pretty comfortable vault control. They were able to take an offense and take the control 3-1. So it was good plays from them. And then back-to-back maps, a 206 to 197 red card. I think that map 4 was insane. That map 4 was one of the most grittiest hard points I think I've seen this year. Nobody can hold a hard point. It was just nonstop trades for the whole map. Lamar, now that you're here, how do you like red card hard point? Do you like it?
I mean, I think it's a mixy map. It's mixier than people expect. They think it's all big and campy, but
It goes to timer a lot.
That map is fucking war. Like, you have to be cracked.
You're
on that
throwing.
map.
We were talking about it before. You're literally in war as soon as you come off spawn. You come off spawn, you're instantly throwing tags.
Yeah, you gotta be super aware on that map to be successful because of the spawns and like how mixy it is. And if you miss like one trade because the spawns are so close sometimes that like it could just change everything.
Yeah, and then we go into the protocols in the last map. But that one was 4-4 at one point, and it was actually Carolina with a big retake. We can actually pull it up at the end. We can break it down and see what's going on. We might be able to maybe pull up some clips. I don't know, Ben. Right? We've been talking. They might be able to do something for us, right? Maybe whitelist the channel or something where we're able to pull up clips. I mean, I'm gonna test it today and maybe pull up a couple clips.
I've been told we're good. I've been told we're good. If we run any issues with like automatic content ID, we have someone we can contact and they'll fix it right away. So shout out to the people like trying to make sure that we can make content for y'all. They're trying to look out for everyone because they want to make sure that other content creators, not just us. I know JP posts a lot of VODs. Other people watch stuff on stream. Other people in the community do podcasts. They want to make sure that everybody can kind of create content and not be hamstrung by some random BS.
Yeah, let's take a look here at the KDs here. So we got a 1.25 coming in from Dashy with almost 14,000 damage. Another crazy series from him, 110 kills in this one. Hook, what a 1.22. Really good to see Hook dropping good numbers, especially with how aggressive he plays. Kenny, only one negative here with a 0.90. And then you have Shotzi with a 1.10, 107 kills in the series. On the other side, everybody negative for Carolina, and they get the W here today.
You know what that means, Tom?
What does that mean, Pat?
We talked about it before, and this goes for every COD. Like, when one team gets massively outslayed and still ends up winning, that means they played for the win, Tom, while the other team did not. So, I mean, if you're outslaying that much on the Optic squad, you clearly aren't playing for the win. We've kind of talked about this every year. I just think Carolina played a way more efficient game, the whole time. And honestly, at times, granted, that map 4 got mixy, looked like a little bit of kill whoring out of the Optic squad for me. So,
they did win 2 to respawns, though.
They did.
I don't know if I agree with that.
They just weren't playing for the win as much. And
Go ahead,
no,
Chris.
I mean,
I think you're at the same point.
I will say the reason the
Collecting a
stats are
check
so
over there, I
lopsided
think.
was because Skyline, they massively outslayed and they just kept that like slaying lead going into the rest of the maps. Red card, I think both teams could have played that a lot better, but as Lamar said, that map just is fucking war all
That
the
map
time.
was
But
insane, bro. I don't know what was going on there.
Map one was actually like just them getting fried, Kentucky fried. Like go to the KDs of map 1 and
Yeah, the
like
Carolina
those like they got fucking Kentucky fried. So that's
Yeah,
why
you're
the
fucking
stat
hilarious,
disparity
bro.
is there.
I'll say that map 4, like I think Optic got in trouble in a couple of the P3 rows where, they had the preferred side for that P3 rotation, but they were getting beat by the team getting that bad spawn on P2, and they were just not winning the mix. Luckily for Optic, what would happen on the first and second rotation, they were winning the P4 with the break and then making the P5 mixy and the P1 mixy, but it happened on that last rotation. That's how they lost by a couple of points in time.
Yeah, no, for sure. On the other side, Carolina, you had Gwyn with a 0.88, or sorry, that was actually map 4, sorry. You had Gwyn with a 0.98, 104 kills in this one, 106 deaths. Jesus Christ, he was flying at him. 0.92 from Slasher, 0.85 from TJ, and a 0.85 from Vivid. What do you guys think about Vivid so far on the AR? I feel like he's been struggling a little bit.
He hasn't been like putting up like crazy KD numbers, but his damage is usually there. I mean, as long as they continue to like perform well and get wins, like he's contributing. Like you can say whatever you want, but like it's not like these guys are like carrying him in the stats department most of the time. So I think he's just
filling his role and doing what he has to do.
Role.
Yeah,
he's
filling his
also
role.
playing a role he doesn't usually play. So I mean,
I just think if he
he's
gets a
doing it
little
well
bit
enough to get wins.
I think if he gets a little bit more comfortable because I think over time he will get more comfortable. I can see this team being even better than what they are right now. Me personally, I think if Vivid starts kicking up in the slaying department, like I think he can help these guys because TJ's obviously been really stepping up. You know what you're getting out of Gwyn. Slash has been really stepping up. I know Reese is filling his role, but I mean, if they're all firing on four cylinders, I could see this team being even harder to beat. I know their fundamentals are looking really good, but you know,
Go ahead, sorry. Finish thought.
no, I was just gonna say Carolina's been a great team to watch. Like they play the game really well. Like their teamwork is on point. They seem like they make smart plays around the map. Like it's not often you get a lot of dumb plays coming from that camp. So they've been fun to watch. But go ahead, Ben.
I just think Reese had a tough start in S&D, and is still not really kind of found consistency in that game. We've seen a lot of ARs really struggle with search, so I don't really think that he's unique in that. But
They've been winning their searches for the most part, so it doesn't even matter.
I think it's fine because it's Carolina team, and you saw it in this series. Like there's just so good in S&D about adjusting mid-map. Like if it was reading out their team plays, and when you got to win those clutch 9th, 10th, 11 rounds, these guys always find a way to get a blood and do it.
Yeah,
Game is way more like team oriented than like a lot of other CODs in terms of like eliminations and like damage contribution. Like it's just so much harder to make solo plays that like as long as he's contributing in the damage department and in the engagements, if somebody else is, let's say, dropping higher KD numbers than he is, you got to think that a lot of the time he's kind of just like helping them succeed in those roles just because of the way this game is designed. Mm-hmm. So as long as he is as long as like they're winning and he's not just like a statistical anomaly, it's fine. But when his teammates start to get shit on and he's not playing well, then that's kind of where you might be able to start this like conversation. But he's been fine.
There's a lot of body shots going on in the Optic Carolina series. Well, you guys fuck with the body shots? I like you, man. I mean, Shotzi's been lighting people up. Gwen was shooting them back. I mean, I feel like it definitely is adding some storylines to see these guys shooting each other's bodies. I know last year MC was kind of that guy shooting everybody's body. He was doing it every single map, and now I feel like Shotzi's kind of taking on that role. He's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I mean, I know the chat loves it. They've been loving the body shots. But what about you guys? You guys like the body shots and the shit talk coming between some of these teams?
I'm a fan of it personally. I mean, I think it's good. It just makes it more engaging for the players that are playing. It makes it more like intense. Even though no one takes body shooting that serious, but just knowing that they're trying to fuck with you probably makes you get more into it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. What about anybody else? Anybody else got anything to add? I want to go into this clip with Optic.
Yeah, I mean, it raises the stakes, right? Puts a little bit more pressure on too. Like if you're shooting bodies, you got to be able to back it up, and you know, if not, you're gonna get the fingers at the end of the game, which Gwen delivered.
Yeah, I mean, Shotzi did have 13 kills in the last map.
Yeah,
Shotzi
but you put pressure on your team, not just yourself, though, right? Like, because when you're talking shit as a player, right? Like, you really are representing your whole team, and so like, you know, it's the pressure is going to go to them too, right? If you're going to play that role, it kind of spreads to everybody. So that's just kind of how it works. Like I said before, like everyone can talk, but like you got to make sure you're winning. That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. To go into the S&D, I want to go into the last match because I thought this was a big round. I actually thought this was a round that Optic could have won. So they lose Shotzi pretty early here. He gets blooded, but Optic, they get the B bomb down. And the way that this round played out, because Kenny was able to make this a 3v3 and pick one up. What did you guys think about the play here in the round 4? Because I know Carolina they worked a good retake here. What did you think about the setup here from Optic Texas? Because you can see Slasher now, he's gonna try and make a play. Kenny's able to take him down, make it a 3v3 situation. He's kind of out of the play a little bit. He's trying to play, trying to make a play here. I felt like they were a little just like far apart from each other. Like when in a 3v4, I just felt like they weren't really in like tradable spots. You know what I mean? Like,
does anyone like that side stair spot that Kyler played?
It's pretty. That spot is like it's a pretty basic spot. Everyone checks it. I would have much rather like had maybe Kyler roaming a little bit or maybe play somewhere else. Like,
what if he played with Dashy in helicopter?
I mean, that could have also been decent as well.
I think that would have worked because you can see the bomb from helicopter. And if they just stayed down and forced Carolina to push them heli, like they might have been able to actually finesse and do something. I actually thought Dashy was going to clutch it too. Because there was a period of time where I think Dashy could have maybe like backed up, played his life a little bit, because he actually makes the play. Like you'll see now, Dashy in a 1v2 situation, 13 seconds left on the clock. I mean, we've seen Dashy clutch in these scenarios so many times. Like right here, as he slides the corner, right? And he's staying alive here. So he gets the shots, right? Slides the corner like right here. Even if he gets out of the helicopter and just tries to finesse, like he knows both of those guys aren't on the bomb. He can maybe just slide out, shoot the guy off bomb, and get traded and win the round. I thought he was going to clutch this for a second.
Who hopped it? Was it Gwen?
It was Gwen.
Yeah, that's a heads up play. Like sometimes you see when in like those 2v1s where someone is like a little too afraid to commit to it. I think that was a a heads up plan. They probably had good communication in that round to just like fully rely on Vivid to get that kill. Because I was worried when Dashy was here that no one was gonna like hop and commit because the time was getting so close.
Also, you get no aim assist in that window.
You obviously can't rely on Dashy to win. Yeah, somebody said you can't rely on Dashy to win at all. I mean, 100%. I mean, he is in a clutch situation, so he's left in a hard spot. It's just hindsight. Just talking about it, hindsight, like what maybe he could have done there, because the time was on his side here. Like the time was on his side. I thought for a second Optic was going to win that round, but it was obviously just a very, very big round there from Carolina. And then we go into the next round, and we go into the 4-5 round. And this is just basically Lamar. I mean, you said this today. Lamar, you actually said you can't believe Protocol S&D is in over Rewind. You wanted to see Rewind more. But everybody just hates low bunker, dude.
Yeah, every time you watch this map this weekend, it's just low bunker warfare. Rewind, at least you can like make the whole map.
People have been trying to play B, but
I think Vault's probably worse. I think this map you still have like a little bit of a dynamic where you can like work mid map and maybe throw in some like late picks, because yeah, it's bunker warfare, but like you don't just fly down there like every round. You like go there, throw shoulders, like you'll have late like hits to it, which is fine. But you watch Vault is actually way worse, I think, in terms of like the one-dimensional play. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know.
Yeah, you're talking about just everybody goes pool.
I think Vol is way worse when it comes to like being one-dimensional than Protocol. Protocol isn't the best either, but
I was really surprised this round that Optic didn't send guys low bunker. Like they only sent one guy there, and it was Kyler. And Kyler just I guess Kyler just played info, just like threw shimmies, maybe threw some tags. Like I don't think Kyler was playing for a kill here. I think he was just playing for the info, and he got the info. But the problem is when I pause it here, right, like 14 seconds into the round, like this already looks over to me. This already looks chalked. Like Carolina's going to get this bomb down. They're just going to play corners in sight. And Optic's going to have to try and force a retake, which we all know, whether it's S&D or hardpoint or whatever, it's hard to retake this area of the map, bro. Like low bunker, it's not easy. There's so many corners, and there's not really much you can do to break it. Like I think the best way to break it is coming through big door, which is what Optic did. But it ended up just not working for him, as a couple kills go down. Kenny gets kind of caught out. He's the last one up alive, and now Kenny in this situation, like this is chalked. Like unless Kenny's absolutely ripping somebody off head glitches and just like world starring people and making crazy plays, like it's
also there's some cool shit you can do in nades that is just like, it's a lot of hindsight. This is just like my nerdy side talking, but when you watch most teams, the way they like come down the zip line, their trophies either in the zip line or it's like pretty further back. So you can like save nades to throw into the site, because basically unless they use 2 trophies, they can't cover the bomb from the trophy. Like they have to pick and choose whether they want to cover the zip or the bomb. Secondly, like like most people will rush in, instead of using your nades at the zip line, bounce, like throw like semtexes and stick like the wall like inside the site, so when they run in, they get clipped. Like you can do so much like nerdy shit with like your nade placement and like mind games, and people kind of just don't do it. They just, I don't know, they just run away or they throw their nades default.
Playbook, shout out Hagu.
But you can do so much nerdy shit with the nades down there. I'm telling you.
You can. I mean, tack usage, I feel like is like a really big thing this year. Because I feel like it takes a while, right, for trophies to kind of charge up. And Lamar, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Lamar, but I mean, people are probably definitely counting trophies, no? Like if you destroy a trophy one round, like you don't
have trophies. You don't have trophies till round like 2 or 3 sometimes. It depends on how fast these rounds go by.
It takes forever to get trophies in this shit.
It does take a while. And if you're actually counting, like if you know there's some rounds where the other team doesn't have trophies, like you can take advantage of that by using your tax. Like obviously,
I think that's like the next level that people are going to get to in search, because on some of these maps like Vault and Protocol, where people just dig themselves into like a bunker or like a room, that mind game of like saving your tax is going to win you rounds. So
yeah, no, couldn't agree more. I mean, obviously Carolina, they move on to the grand final. Optic, they fall short. They get a top 4 placing as well, alongside the Minnesota Rokkr. So that's what, 10 points for each, for Minnesota and Optic. They both get 10 points. And then all the prizing, I believe, went to the first place team, which was $20,000. So FaZe going home with $5,000 each. Any final thoughts with the Optic boys in Carolina? Who's Optic playing next week, Ben? What's going on with these guys?
Can we go back to that in a second? Can I just get my final thought on this?
Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
Go click on the vetoes real quick for this series. I want to point something out. Just, again, we're starting to get the dynamic where we talk about this. You'll notice if you scroll up, Tom, a very interesting protocol hardpoint ban out of Optic. There are a lot of people in my chat very confused about that. And Carolina's is very good and very dominant on that map. And I believe when I've seen them play Optic on that, like in scrims, I think that's the only map they really win. So even though Optic, I don't think is lost on Protocol this year, I think they were respecting that ban, and it puts Red Card Hardpoint into play, which is not a map that Optic has won in a match yet. So, just kind of little map pool things are starting to kind of trickle out here. Can Optic kind of try and add one of those maps, confidence maps to the pool going forward? As far as who Optic plays next, obviously, they are 3-1. I believe in the league, but that only lost to Boston. They play twice next week in Vegas and Thieves, and then Toronto Ultra. So should be a free win against Vegas, but the last 2 matches are going to be great tests for Optic going into Madrid.
Random sidebar, but I feel like the major should have had more stakes in terms of points. For the fact that Minnesota made it a run to top 4 and they got 1 CDO match worth of points,
yeah,
that's right.
Crazy.
That's right.
That is
that
crazy.
Shit's insane.
Yeah,
Wait,
they got 1 match worth, but every other team beneath them didn't get anything. So, I mean, technically they got a 10-point gain. Like
I would have liked to maybe at least
That's
give
true.
it to
Because nobody else gets
give
any
them
points,
I would have liked to maybe even give them like maybe do 10 for the match before and then 10 again. Like that would have been not that much more, but I don't know. I feel like they could have upped the stakes a little bit of these tournaments.
Yeah,
10 points for top 4. That's one match.
But I think the intent is that it is in a stupid ass way. They tried to add something that matters, but they don't want it to matter more than league matches, because then people are going to question why they still play league matches, which we all probably half and half agree are kind of useless.
You've been questioning that.
So that's why I think that's intentional, Chris.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other final thoughts on the series with Optic and Carolina? It was a great series. I think the most exciting match is definitely the red card. That one was hectic, but I think overall it was a good series from Carolina. They were able to clutch up both S&Ds. So I think obviously S&Ds wins championships. S&Ds is very important, and that's one thing that Carolina's been really good at. Why do you think Carolina's so good at S&D? I feel like TJ and Slasher, they're kind of working their slow pick meta, right? Because that's how Austin likes to play Search. That's how he plays S&D. Like they spread the map, they play picks, they play for info, and then they just make plays off the info. I think, me personally, that's how I like to play Search as well. And then occasionally just throw in some team hits here or there. But I feel like the way that Carolina's playing Search right now, I definitely think that's why they're finding so much success. Would you guys agree?
They also got Gwyn. Gwyn played a lot of S&D chows and S&D before he became a pro, and he still even plays S&D money 8s with those with whenever they pop up, and he'll play. He's good as fuck at Search, and he's had a couple of maps, and so is Tej, where they just both pop off, or one of the other pops off. So their entire team is formulated with really good S&D players. Even Vivid played quite a bit of Search. So
the only thing is that their Search is good, but if they start to struggle and respawn, that Search is only going to take them so far. I don't think that's necessarily the case. And then they have some dominant respawn maps in the pool, and their control solid. So
I don't even care. I've said this. I'm gonna say it again. With the way the map pool is, I think S&D is the mode that you can kind of separate yourself, because it involves the most strategy. We were talking about it on the show yesterday, but this game, the way it sets you up in the spawns, you can have this whole, game plan, right? Where you want to go and break a hill. But as soon as you start getting locked into one spawn point where you just start head bashing, all strategy goes out the window. And that happens a lot in game, where it just comes down to fly, trade. Lamar could probably vouch for this. That's just the way the respawns are in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely get put in some situations like that where
you have no choice. You have no option.
Win the gunfight.
Yeah, exactly. It's way worse than a lot of the other games.
Yeah,
in that aspect.
Gwyn, what a great map 5, 12-6. On the other side, Shotzi was 13-7, and everybody else had a 0.4 or 0.8. I mean, besides Radashi with a 0.8, he was 6-7, 4-9 from Hook, 4-9 from Kenny, 13-7 from Ant. Ant had 5 first bloods in this map. So you got to think Optic trolling with numbers a little bit. I know a lot of those first bloods he gets insta traded a lot too. Because Shotzi also is trying to make plays. So a lot of the times he gets instantly traded, but. I mean, with 5 first bloods, I mean, you're probably going back and looking at that one if you're Optic Texas, no? And seeing what the hell went wrong in that search.
I mean,
no,
I just first bloods is you're just not playing for the win in the round. That's really all it comes down to.
I just think Optic's retakes on this map are just not effective on defense. And now it's kind of a big difference.
Yeah, but retakes are so hard, though. That's why I don't think...
a skill diff, though. That's a skill diff, Tom.
Yeah.
If you can actually make it work, it's a premium.
Sometimes I feel like teams are playing for the retake. If they go, we'll play here, and if they go there, we'll play a retake. But I don't know. I just don't like playing like that personally. Lamar, we had arguments about that back in the day. playing for retake? Like, should we give them a site and play for the retake, or push it out? Like,
for sure we did.
Like, what do you think about it? Like, do you like giving up like sites and trying to play retakes? So, like, I'm not a big retake guy. Like, I like to play retakes at times depending on the site. But if there's a site that's really hard to retake, like in my opinion, I think every round you should be getting in there. But what do you think about it?
Hey, Tom, you asking cop questions here. I'm gonna have to refer to
Oh,
Mr.
my bad.
Buzzword, my S&D
I forgot you're a head coach here. Forgot you're a head
Have to
coach.
give John Tupac a call up and ask him that question.
What about
let
you,
me ask him what
Duarte?
he thinks.
What do you
I
think, Duarte?
personally, I think it just comes down to like certain bomb sites. Like for example, let's say you have a man advantage on like Vault, for example. You don't want to let them get down the B bomb, for example, but like you can play the retake on A. I think that's a lot more reasonable. I think it's bomb site dependent. But I've always been a advocate of like making plays and like trying to get as much information as possible to deny bomb plants, because that 5-second window of like somebody planning, it's like they're down a man. So if anytime you get to like you can catch that timing, you're probably more often than not gonna win, and you could even swing rounds in your favor where you are down man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Any other final thoughts on the series? It was a great series. Went all the way down to map 5. Any other final thoughts before we move on to the grand final?
No.
All right, let's move on to the grand finale. This was Atlanta FaZe kicking things off with the Carolina Royal Ravens. This one ended in a 3-1 victory for Atlanta FaZe. Again, the only map that Atlanta was dropped in this grand final was the control. Also, this grand final needs to be a best of 7 or something, in my opinion. I don't know. I feel like a best of 5 for the grand final is kind of cheese.
Yeah, I was confused.
You guys all agree with that?
too.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't feel special enough. Like the grand final it didn't feel special to me. It just felt like a league match.
Assuming you do the same veto process for best of 7 in here, would it just be a coin flip to see who gets the best of 7, like the veto advantage, like in normal grand finals, or would you do it off seed?
No higher seed.
I would do it off seed.
Single tournament.
Do it off seed. Fair enough.
Yeah. But FaZe to get the 3-1 victory. We had a close map too. That one goes all the way down to round 11, so we'll definitely check that one out. But the hard points weren't even close. I mean, FaZe beat them by 100 points in both hard points. So just good plays from FaZe in the hard points. I think their hard point looked way better this weekend. And then, of course, we had a close map in the search. We'll scroll down and take a look here at the stat category. We had a 1.06 from Abizi, a 1.52 from Celium, 0.74 from Draws, and a 1.29 from Simp. So a tough series from Draws, but they do get the 3-1 victory. So
He was chilling in this.
he was chilling. He was chilling this series. His team was going crazy. I mean, Zach was making plays though. Not I wouldn't say the grand finals, but in the series beforehand, the series prior, I thought he was making plays.
He just didn't have to do anything in this series. Like his teammates were playing so well.
Yeah, like Zach's. Go ahead, Ben.
The crazy thing about FaZe so far, like on this hardpoint run this weekend, is like their breaks have been not as good, but they probably are the best rotation team in the league right now, which is psycho to say because how they played for the longest time. Like they just did a really good job, especially on protocol. You watch them play of just controlling the game, getting ahead of the game, getting someone in a power spot early on in that rotation, and then just funneling, getting 2 or 3 kills to kind of open up the hill in a good spot where they can control it. Like that like front running the game is not what we normally see from them. They just kind of use their skill and break. But that level of control is just nice to watch in the Hossie, for example.
Then on the other side, you had a 0.91 from Gwyn. You had a 1.03 from Slasher, 0.77 from TJ, and a 0.85 from Vivid. So clearly in the slaying department, Carolina struggled here a little bit in the grand final. We'll scroll down, take a look at the MVP. It's going to be MC in this one. He had a 1.75 in hardpoint, a 1.43 in S&D, and a 1.31 in control. That is a crazy stat line from MC here in the grand final, which, Ben, I know you talked about already with, taking the metal boots off, but just seeing MC kick up and show everybody what he can do was cool to see. I mean, we know what Celium can bring to the table when he's playing at the highest level. And it was a night and day difference compared to the first couple weeks to what he was showing this weekend. Honestly, the whole team as a whole looked a lot better this weekend. It was just really, really good plays from him. Pat, we'll go to you. What did you think of the series? Atlanta FaZe, they get the 3-1 victory over Carolina. What are your immediate thoughts?
I mean, this just felt like a skill diff in these hard points, Tom. I mean, FaZe was shooting, and we talked about it, right? Like we talked about it yesterday. It's just a matter of time before FaZe get hot, and I feel like when they're hot, I mean, Ben's saying they're rotating better than everyone. I mean, it's a collective thing. Like when everything's going well for this FaZe squad, they're tough to beat, and that's just what I felt like in this series. It really didn't matter what Carolina tried to do. There was just a skill diff in this particular series. But yeah, I mean, when FaZe are shooting like this, I think they're contenders to win it all in every tournament.
Yeah, what about yourself, Duarte? What are your thoughts on the grand final?
Sorry, I'm fucking still sick. But
No, you're good, bro.
no, I mean the FaZe just played really well in the hard points. Ravens ultimately just kind of ran out of gas. It's kind of the same story with Minnesota when they played FaZe. That magic just kind of faded away. But I mean, Ravens played a damn good weekend of COD, and they should be proud of themselves. But FaZe, yeah, they just managed to turn it around. Their control still has not been good, but outside of that, they've improved pretty much in every other facet, and it ultimately led them getting the win. So good shit.
Amar, you got any thoughts before we head in and take a look at this round 11?
No, I was just gonna mention the round 11, like you said. I was gonna say that was Carolina's chance. I mean, they needed to force a game 5, I think, to win that series. So once they lost that, it wasn't looking good.
This was a big round.
There's also the 1v2 that Reese had. It was also a big round.
Yeah, we'll show that as well. I mean, Reese did team nade in that round. He team naded off the rip. I mean, he was 1-8 and he threw a team nade, and it was. He also did die every single round here on this map. What the hell happened here? This shit freeze. Just to go to this last round here, in the round 11. Oh, sorry, I fucked it up. I got the wrong round right here. In the round 11 here, I remember we just watched Optic where they didn't send anybody low. Look at FaZe. Like FaZe sent everybody low bunker, and then once Carolina went down zip and saw all of FaZe there, like they instantly turned around and just went away from that site. And then you can see as soon as FaZe gets control now of the A site, then they start to kind of rotate back and start and play more for this B hit. So I like how FaZe is like adapting. I like how they're moving around the map. Like they're taking the map control, but also making sure nobody like pulls a fast one on them and tries to make a play. You can see it was Gwyn who started inching up with the Ames. They tried working mid map here, which I mean, working mid map on protocol is tough, dude. This is tough to do. You're gonna have a guy top window. You're gonna have a guy sitting back by the planter somewhere, all the way like back gun, like holding B. You can see Carolina, like they kind of just get funneled here. And instantly it was made a 3v2 situation. You can see how the rest of this plays out. You got one guy, Slasher, who's trying to make a play towards B. He's got the bomb in hand, and FaZe all over. I would have liked to see maybe Slasher and Vivid play a little bit together. It was weird seeing Slasher go B with bomb and then Vivid playing A. It was weird seeing them like separate, like trying to make solo plays. Maybe because they're down a man, they were just trying to make a play and try and make something happen. But what do you guys think about the play call here from Carolina here in the round 11?
Well, you're in a 2v3. Why are you doing two separate things? You're giving yourself like zero chance to win the round.
Yeah, I agree.
Two people.
I agree. I feel like in a 2v3 situation, like you got to try and stick together and try and like, well, at least when you're down a man, you got to try and like work as a team there. But maybe because they were down a man, they were just trying to like be random with it and just try and catch people slipping. But I mean, FaZe, they were working trades. They made it look easy. What about Pat, Chris, Lamar? What do you think about the mid hit here?
I personally don't think them hitting mid is that bad. It's just you should try to do it off the rip of the round. I think that's kind of like a blind counter thing that you do, because you can actually get pretty much to the front of their building before like a guy gets up into this window if you come out of like front grandmas. But I mean, you risk yourself getting pre-nated. So I mean, I don't mind the play. I just think they took too long to do it, and I feel like that's just kind of like Slasher's like game like play style. Like they like to play slow, play for a pick. And I think FaZe caught onto it and just started blind countering them and just playing with a lot more like team aggression to counter them.
Can I point out the moment, if you back it up to probably like 15 or 20 seconds in the round, when FaZe rotate out of this, Zach realizes that they're all middle and like he can just push up to Bo and just get a free kill. Because they're not keeping Zach honest on the top side of this map. Like he literally in that 3v3 gets like an instant next kill that kind of wins that round. Yeah. Because nobody showed any presence there.
I mean, I agree with Chris. Like when you're doing these hard counter-esque like strats, especially in a round 11, you got to full commit, right? You gotta basically surprise them before they get any info. So I think they played it too passive. I would have liked to see it being like an all-out just hit, and then kind of especially around 11. Like everyone knows how Slasher plays S&D. If they would have came out with just a full aggressive hit, I think it would have caught FaZe more off guard. And
yeah,
especially a B hit, because you're thinking. I mean, I know Optic didn't do it in around 11, and maybe that's why Optic went mid, because they thought they were going to blind counter. But I feel like in around 11, like hitting B would be a good play, because I feel like the other team's thinking like they got to get A control, like make sure they don't get the bomb down A, so you can kind of just use that aggression, use your numbers B, and maybe work a B plant. But what were you going to say, Chris?
I was going to say there's some underrated routes you can take on this, man. If you get like a guy on your team to go like P2 and kind of watch over that right side of the map, you can basically go mid-map and jump over the big door, and that basically blindsides anybody that's in the site that's kind of like holding that bottom angle, and they won't even like know that you cross essentially to that zip, and then you could like take the zip up and flank, like as long as, because your teammate P2, he can spot that like deep right. So I don't know. I think there's a lot more creativity that people could have used, or they could have used for that mid hit, because again, they just let that boat side of the map completely open, and Zach took advantage of it. So I mean, for Austin's play style of like spreading, playing for picks, they didn't really spread too much there. They were all condensed mid map, and I think FaZe just took like they took a good chance and found an opening.
Yeah, Reese makes a really good play in the 1v2. It's a 4-4 round, so this is obviously a really big round. Reese did team nade in the beginning of this round. He team naded Slasher in the back of the head, so this would have been a big clutch for him. Am I the only one who thinks he should have shot the guy on the left first? I mean, it might be a nitpick, but I think he made I think he made a good play, like good positioning here. But
It's not a nitpick. That's just the way to win the round, no?
I mean, I feel like you kill the guy that's like on the stairs first, and then you have a BZ who's just out in the open where it's
Yeah.
just
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Like, you're not nitpicking like that.
Yeah.
That is the way you're gonna have to win it. That's just the moment.
I mean,
or at least wait for your stun to pop.
I do like the route he took. I mean, I like the fact that he got B bomb down, and look at how like after he gets a B bomb down, like he flanks mid here, and like he completely like he actually blind countered the fuck out of Atlanta FaZe here. Like I thought for a second he was gonna clutch this, but I thought right here, look, he gets the info, sees one, sees two. Like you wait a second, you kill the guy's stairs, and then if anything, like he can play the stairs heady after he kills this guy. Like you kill this guy, you get in the stairs heady, and then boom, you can kill the second guy. Again, like 1v2 clutches, I know, like they're in a clutch situation, but again, I felt like those rounds were winnable there. Then we get into the next round, the 5-4 round, and it was FaZe who gets blown up with the team kill there. You can see it's an all-out A hit. The trophies come down. What's in there? A fire extinguisher or something? They said it was a car bomb. There's no car in there.
Yeah, it's like the computers or something. I don't know. The icon for it is a car, but I don't think it's a car.
Yeah,
obviously.
That was interesting to say the least. But yeah, Atlanta FaZe, they're able to get the W here. They're the champs for the first CDL minor tournament 1. Any other final thoughts before we take a look at some matches and see what's going on next week? And then we're also going to take a look at our Breaking Point fantasy today. We're going to see what's going on with the fantasy teams and get a fantasy update. Since it is Sunday, we got to see what's going on.
How much did they win?
They got 30 points, and then they got $5K each, a $20,000 prize pool.
5K. I think Simp's the only one on their team with a house, so that 5K should be helping them out to get into the house.
No, I think Zach's got a house.
Oh, Zach's got a house too?
Yeah, Zach's got a house.
Shit,
I think Tyler might have us too. I think.
Shit! All right.
Actually, I think MC also probably has a house too. I think
MC
they might
has a
all have
house.
houses.
Maybe they
Yeah.
can start on their second ones. You know, they only got one.
The only thing I'll say for FaZe is because they're 1-3 start, their schedule is very interesting. If you think about the Cowboys teams they're playing, they have one match next week and then 2 the following week. They play Minnesota, so instant rematch with Minnesota. They played earlier today. Boston and Cloud9 last weekend. So they want to try and win all 3. 2 might get them in, but I don't think that's an easy schedule by any means because I think all of those teams have shown good promise, at least this weekend as well.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pull up next week's matches because I think they pulled them up at the end of the VOD, right? Yeah, they did, actually. Here we go. Let's take a look here and see what's going on. So we get packed on Friday. We have LAG going up against Cloud9. So, Lamar, that's a matchup for y'all.
Oh, shit.
And then we got the Vegas Falcons going up against Optic, Texas. And then we got Minnesota Rokkr going up against Toronto. Also on January 19th on the Sunday, we're going to get a Thieves versus Optic, which is cool to see. I'm excited to watch that one. I think that's going to be a battle as well. On that Saturday, you're going to get Seattle Surge versus Vegas. We got Cloud9 versus Miami. We got the Boston Breach going up against Carolina. Oh, there's only 3 matches each day?
God bless. We're
Yeah.
back.
Love that.
Yeah, only 3 matches, which is interesting. Maybe we can break down some gameplay in those games. Since there's only 3 matches, we can get some clips, break down some gameplay. We'll switch it up a little bit since there's only 3 games, and then we'll see what
might be on Crash Out Watch on that 19th game.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have had fucking 8 days to stew on that loss, so I think Optic will play Vegas and probably get a dub, but that's a huge match for Thieves. They lose back-to-back matches. Yeah, to your point, I think Matt might fucking break his setup this time.
How you feeling going into the LAG match, Lamar? I know LAG's, they've been struggling to close out. These guys are looking for a W here. Like, how do you feel going into it?
I mean, they're looking for their W, but all their matches have been pretty close. Like they've had some gruelers and some heartbreakers. So
Yeah.
you're gonna come in there, and we need these wins to get these points and get into that winners bracket. So we're gonna be putting our head down this week and putting in that overtime.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna ask you to predict the match because you'll probably say you'll win, but we'll go through the predictions from top to bottom. I'll start. I'm actually gonna go with Cloud9, not because Lamar's in here. I just think Cloud9 has looked better than LAG so far this season. I think Cloud9 is just going to continue to get better as well as LAG, but I think right now Cloud9 is just a little bit ahead. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory here for Cloud9. What do you think, Benjay?
Are we going, am I doing all three or are we just doing one by one?
One by one.
I got Cloud9 game 5, another heartbreak loss for LAG, and I feel like I have a lot of thoughts on the team. I'll save it for next week once they lose.
All right, we got Coach Crowder in the building for Atlanta FaZe, head coach of Atlanta FaZe. Mr. Crowder with an 81 months. Say congratulations, Chris. Love seeing the improvement from the boys, man. Love to see it, dude. We were getting hyped up today in the watch party. Everybody show Crowder some love, man. What a legend, dude. The world champ himself. Love again, just seeing the boys turn it around. We got Case on in here as well. Atlanta FaZe owner, co-owner. Was awesome seeing the guys turn it around and just turn up this weekend, man. So show Crowder some love. Duarte, who do you got?
Yo.
LAG, Cloud9. What are you thinking?
I got Cloud9 unless they're banned from scrims for a week. What's the verdict on this, Lamar? What's going on, with this GA?
I don't know what
GA
you're
shit,
talking about, Mo. I don't know what you're talking about, Mo.
Yeah, I got C9. All jokes aside.
All right, Pat, what about you?
I think LAG are still winless, so I'm not betting on them ever until they get a win on the board. So I'm going Cloud9.
Okay.
They have to get one eventually, Pat, right?
Yeah, but I'm not betting on them until that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see one go in.
Then we got Vegas going up against Optic Texas. I'm thinking Optic 3-0. I'm going Optic 3-0 on this one. I think Vegas is going to have a hard time with Optic, in my opinion. But what do you think, Ben?
Wait, it's like every match on this day a fucking rematch from earlier this week?
No, LAG didn't play.
LAG and Cloud9 didn't play.
Did not play. So
The other two are. The other two are. I got Optic. I think Vegas will take a respawn in this series. So I'll say 3-1, but I think it's a comfortable win for Optic.
All right, Duarte, what do you think?
All right, I got Optic.
You got Optic?
Yeah.
Pat?
If Kix is back, I'm taking the Falcons, but if not, I'm going Optic.
You going Optic unless Kicks comes back?
Yeah, unless he comes back.
Okay.
We haven't heard anything yet, so we don't know.
Okay, so Pat's got Optic. Then we go into the last series. Lamar, you want to put a prediction in, or no? You don't have to. If you don't want to. You don't need to.
I got Optic.
You got Optic. You got Optic in that one. Then we got Minnesota Rokkr going up against Toronto Ultra. I think that's going to be a really good series with Minnesota and Toronto. I think that's going to be a nail biter. I think it's going to be a grueler. Personally, I'm going to go with Toronto Ultra in this one. It's hard, man. This is a hard one because I'm not really too sure where to go with this one, but I think after this weekend, I think Toronto are going to come back next weekend with the fire under them. I think they're going to have the fire lit under them for sure.
They're coming to get their get back after the replay thing happened.
Yeah.
They lost that series. It didn't even seem like they were mad. They just looked like they felt like they got robbed, probably.
Yeah, I mean, they were up 80 in the Hossie hardpoint, right? And then they ended it, and then they lost it, and then it was
You never win the replay, bro. It's GG.
Yeah, it's very rare we see teams win the replay. But I am going to go with Toronto Ultra now one. I got Kleenex on a fantasy team. I need Kleenex to turn up. What do you think, Benjay?
Toronto 3-1.
Toronto 3-1. All right. Chris?
Yeah, I think Toronto's going to get their get back here, and they're going to win. So I got Toronto.
What about you, Pat?
I think I have somebody on Rokkr on my fantasy team, and I forgot that. And I've been rooting against them. But yeah, I'm going Ultra. But I hope whoever I have in fantasy on the Rokkr fries.
I could see Rokkr winning though, because they definitely got some confidence for sure from this weekend. Like they played well this weekend. They played good versus FaZe too. So I could see them winning. And I wouldn't be surprised.
You got Rokkr, Lamar?
Yeah, look, you got Rokkr.
All right, Lamar's got Rokkr in this one. We'll take a look at the fantasy. Got some good matches next week. Excited to get into those. But let's see what's going on here in our fantasy league here, folks. So it's looking like Gersh is at the top of fantasy with a 3-0 record right now. So shout out to Gersh. He's absolutely frying. Ben, you're in the number 2 spot. Sam in number 3. And then we have Ian at the number 4. Colt at 5. Duarte at 6. I'm at the 7th spot. You got Kason, who's sitting at the 8th spot. Team Crimsix at 9. And Pat, you are sitting in last place. Slay.
Hey, we're all tied though, right?
Wait. I need to say this. Go look at my matchup with Chris and let me know Let me know how. I don't know how I won this, and Chris is gonna be very mad when he takes a look at this.
Wait, what happened?
Go to complete. Go to completed matches. Click complete, and click on the one versus me and Chris.
I'm
No,
trying
not that one, no.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Do you see it?
It's at the bottom. Team Men's 18
Here it
Parasite.
is. Let's take a look here. Ooh, 6-5. It was a nail biter
Yeah,
here.
but let me know. Let me know what happened in this because I fear I beat Chris 3
Wait,
before.
was this a match during the major?
No, yeah, and
How do you win with kicks not even playing the game?
That's crazy. No, that's crazy.
I had Teach and so what?
No, I noticed that with fantasy, bro. Like one weekend, your team can be godlike and get you so many points, and then the next weekend, you get
How did I
literally
lose
nothing,
this?
I got Kenny, man. That's why I'm getting
forged.
cooked. I got Kenny. I forgot. He's been getting cooked.
bro. Let me see what's going on here, Pat. Let's see. You get
Bro,
a team.
I lost
Oh, Jesus Christ, Pat.
I lost because of S&D opening dual win percentage. Like,
Let's
bro,
go.
that's not even a stat.
Oh, Ford Rancor. Let's fucking go, boys.
I played K-Son and got slammed, bro.
Wait, when was this? This was literally before the major.
1 to 10, man. What are we doing?
Bro, I was getting cooked before the major. I'd sell and
man.
attach.
Yo,
Before the major, or not the
you
major,
wanna
the
trade?
minor.
You want to trade, Tom? I'll give you Kenny.
I'm literally dropping. Wait, you give me Kenny for who?
I can't even see who's on your team.
I
bro.
got
You guys are
Draza, Kleenex, Priesta, and Real. I'll trade you P-Dog for Kenny.
What? Come on, that'd be like the one thing I wouldn't do.
Voila.
That's the worst one.
But he's about to turn it around.
Wait, you're getting shit on by K-Son, Tom?
Bro, I'm getting shit on by K-Son. It's because he has Dashy, man. I pessed up on Dashy,
He
man.
has Dashy and Gwyn.
Yeah, nah, that's my fault. See, I deserve
Kremp,
this
Kremp
loss.
played well. Kremp's played
Kremp
well
went
for them.
crazy. Gwyn went crazy. Yeah, he has a good team, dude. K-Son's got a good team. Like, looking at it, damn, I didn't win fucking nothing. I won S&D fucking bullshit. Let's see what else is going on
Win
here.
percentage.
We got Team Pat versus me. I beat Pat by 1 point in this one.
Ah,
What happened here, Pat? What the hell happened here?
what did I even win?
You won Hardpoint 10 minutes. You won S&D. What's
I'm a
P and
control
D?
guy.
Plants and diffuses.
Bro, it's the Fugazi stat, bro. S&D opening dual win percentage is such a...
Yeah, first bloods, bro. They're important. What do you mean Fugazi?
It's just Fugazi, bro. It's just gambling.
Yeah, I mean, this has been fun though. I will say, what's going on with Porter, man? He was raging about his team. Who does he got on his team?
I think, wait.
Oh, because he's got AG on his team. That's why he's got AG. So
Being
Porter's
all over, bro.
But he hasn't swapped
Yeah,
him.
why
He's
hasn't
just
he
left him
swapped
there.
it? Why is he leaving him there? And no, to be fair, I've missed the swaps as well. Every time I try and swap, I'm too late. I've tried to make some changes as well.
Wait, I might. No, there's no way AG gets back on a team for Major 1, right? He's waiting till
For
after.
Major 1, probably not, but I think after Major 1, I could see it. But we'll see. Well, I think who do you guys think can pick up AG? Who do you think AG could? Where do you think AG can land?
LAG.
LAG?
About 9.
I don't know if AG is gonna want to go to LAG right now.
If I'm AG, man, we were talking about Reese earlier, but if they start to swing poorly, how would Carolina look with fucking one of them else moving to flex? Maybe a TJ flex and you have a Gwyn and AG sub to it. What do you guys think about that?
I can see Gwyn and AG, but I don't think Carolina's gonna make any changes. To be honest with you, I think they like what Reese is bringing to the table right now, regardless of like some of the stats that he's dropping. I think they just like the role that he's filling.
I mean, I'm not. This isn't even just for Ravens. I just think when you have like Pred up for grabs, like you go for him. I mean, whatever the hell happened to him and whatever he's going through, like that guy was pretty much filthy the whole last year, and he's just has a good track record for being a beast. So.
But he doesn't get a free pass, and whatever team wants to pick him up needs to have a good answer for whatever happened there. He's got to be able to address the situation and explain why it's not going to happen again and what he's going to do differently, and they have to be able to accept that answer in order to move forward. Like he doesn't get a free pass just because of what he's done in the past. You know what I'm saying?
What about Illy, bro? The chat loves Illy, man. They want to see Illy back in there. I would love to see Illy get back in there too. And he has been playing well in challengers. He has. He's been doing his thing. You guys can see Illy maybe getting picked up. I could see it. I could see it, Duarte. I could see Inder getting picked up potentially.
I'm not saying he can't based on his skill. I'm just trying to think of a team.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Like trying to see where they can go because it's like everything kind of needs to fall perfectly.
You're not picking up Illy for Vivid because Illy and Vivid played different play styles. Illy plays a lot slower than Vivid.
Some people are saying Boston. Some people are
I
saying
got a
Ravens.
weird prediction. The way that things are going right now, I don't know if a lot of teams are going to make changes after Major 1, unless there's internal issues or things we don't know. It feels like a lot of people can beat a lot of people, and if like teams just kind of have tough, close losses at the Major, it's like, why don't we just keep doing what we're doing? We can probably get a top 4 the way we're doing it. Then we might see a lot of changes. In fact, probably after Dallas instead of after this first event.
Everyone's going 3-2, bro. Every series is the last map.
Just like, do you realize it's just going to be really a weird situation? Because you're going to have a lot of challengers players. You're not, saying you're not sure about on land. Like, there's a lot of factors that might go into that one.
I think the one team's my bad. I just want to say one last thing.
No,
I think the 2 teams, if anything, that I'm looking at for roster changes that definitely might need them, it's probably LAG Mates and Vancouver Surge. 100%.
This is not updated yet, by the way.
Pred ain't going back to this.
But FaZe is gonna have 40 points here.
There's
so
like
they're gonna
a million teams
up.
on 40. Carolina's in first on 50.
Yep.
FaZe has got 40. Optic's got 40.
Got 20.
And Minnesota's got 30.
No, FaZe is gonna get 30.
No, yeah, true. Carolina got 20. True, they'll be on 60.
Yeah.
Good call.
Oh, that's what you meant.
There's like 8. There's like 4 teams on 40.
So Carolina's got a nice little lead there. Got a nice little lead from the minor tournament. The 20 points is big for them.
Those points add up in the beginning.
Bro, that 30 points from FaZe is going to be massive for him, bro. They needed that 30 points. They needed that shit. It got him back. It basically got him back into like a top contender now. Like they come in.
It's important because the last 2 stages have less matches than the first 2.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's true. I think
The
There's
first 2
2
have
more
7.
online stuff before the major.
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
It's all
2
online.
more weekends. How many more weekends of online before?
2?
2 weekends.
Weekends,
Yeah, 2 weekends. Which I'm hyped for the major, bro. I'm hyped to see how
You guys
everything
doing
turns
live
out.
watch party?
Now we'll be
home.
doing watch parties, but I'll be at home. Ben will be there, right? Ben, you're going.
Me and Gersh leaving on Monday to that event. We'll be doing a lot of content on Wednesday, assuming the league gonna get some stuff sorted for us. And then right now the plan is for me and Gersh to do some content with the Breaking Point guys as far as watch parties on the weekend. So we'll see. We'll see if that works out because I'm excited to go to Madrid, man. I think Spain will be awesome, and we're gonna produce some really good content for you guys. So make sure you check that out on my channel. Gersh will be posting stuff. I'll be posting stuff on the Flank channels as well.
Yeah, well, we're gonna try and get some interviews for
Flank
you
TV.
guys. We're gonna do Flank TV. We're gonna try and get some interviews, try and get some content. Ben and Gersh will be out on the floor over there, working their magic.
Someone in the chat said first class Benji. I mean, I'd love to if Tom wants to, I mean, nice rack for a business class seat.
not.
You want me to up you to first class?
I mean, listen, that would be awesome if you're
I
willing.
don't know,
bro.
Tom. You didn't defend him last night, so maybe you owe him the first
Yeah,
class.
I might owe you because I didn't defend you last night. You're right.
We'll have to talk some business.
Yeah,
there,
we'll talk
right?
business. I do owe you. I do owe you. They were mad at me for not defending you. They were mad at you, Ben, for not defending you, bro. We had a good talk.
Good talk.
We'll see, Ben. Send me the receipt. We'll see what we're looking at. Maybe I will upgrade you. Maybe if you're nice to me. If you're nice to me.
We'll talk on our normal Monday morning business call. You and I always talk business on Monday. We'll see.
All right, Penja, he gets you that first class upgrade. We even or what, bro? Like, I just vouch for you.
We've been even the whole time. Listen, because they haven't addressed it. Shit just got said yesterday. It was heated. You're just defending your boys. I didn't think much of it. If people know, I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? Like, people come on the show and kind of roast the co-host and
I'm
say,
gonna be
fuck off.
honest.
Like,
From
yeah.
my perspective, bro, I've known Lamar and Ben for over a decade. Okay, I've heard these guys argue a million fucking times and yell at each other a million times. Like that shit was normal to me. Like,
That's not even top 5.
But to be fair to people watching, like, I do understand from their perspective, like, they don't know that. Like, they don't know the relationship that some of you guys have. So it's like, to them, like, it looked worse. But yesterday definitely got a little rowdy for sure. The passion was flowing. But Ben, yeah, I do owe you one, Ben. Maybe we'll hook you up with a first class. You know what I mean?
I'd be keen on a nice lay flat seat for an 8-hour flight.
We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. I know people were very angry last
Well,
night.
hold on. Listen, because if you get me this lay flat seat, I am going to vlog the trip. So you've seen like there's a little content play there,
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see how much it is. We'll see what the price is looking like.
I know what the price is.
What's the damage? What's the damage, Ben?
It might be $1,000.
$1,000?
Yeah.
All right, I'll think about it. Benji.
We'll circle back on it.
Yeah, we'll circle back. If you're nice to me in the next few days, in the next couple days,
Ooh, I can do that. I think I can do that.
You roast me a lot, but if you give me some compliments here or there, we'll see. We'll see what's going on.
I got a DSG's my way into a business class seat here. It looks like.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on. Ben, why don't you sing us out with a part? How about this, Benjay? If you
Yeah.
sink the pot,
Shit, you're putting a lot of pressure on
if
the
you
spot.
sink the pot, I will buy you a first class seat to Madrid.
Oh shit.
That's
But
insane.
you gotta sink the pot. You gotta sink the pot. So a lot of pressure is on the line. A lot of
Let's
pressure.
see if Penjay's a breaker.
Oh man, oh man. Oh,
Pressure's on,
chat.
Ben.
This is exciting, man. This is exciting.
If Ben doesn't sing this, Pat is gonna be on his ass every day. Bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Benjay Nassim.
It's a lot of pressure on this pot. Holy
Can
shit.
he sink the pot for the first
He's
class seat,
sweating.
ladies and
Ben
gentlemen?
Ben is literally sweating right now. I promise you, he's sweating. He instantly started sweating when you said that.
Will he be flying first class or economy? Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what
Nah,
Benjay
we
can
should
do.
have upped the stakes, like middle seat if he misses.
Benjay stepping up to the plate. He's got no slippers on today, but he's got that flank merch on. So it might give him the power here to sink this pot as he lines it up for the first class seat. He sinks the pot! He sinks it! This motherfucker's going first class to Madrid.
Let's go.
Shit! Shit! All
It's
right,
all-
Ben.
it's all good.
I got you, bro. It's icy,
All right, we'll
Ben.
talk
Ben,
business.
you're
We'll talk
icy,
business.
Ben. Ben, you're icy, man. You're icy for
I love that
You're
guy.
icy for that, bro. But yeah, guys, I appreciate all the love, all the energy. Damn, they're erupting. Look at them. They're hyped as fuck, man. Look at them go, dude. Guys, all the energy in the chat this weekend was fucking crazy, bro. The watch, we hit like 20,000 viewers in the watch party today. I mean, we there was a period of time on the flank where we had almost 10,000 viewers. So both on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you guys all so much for all the support. We obviously got more league matches coming up. We got a couple of matches of league, couple of weeks of league matches, and then we got obviously the major in Madrid. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Super, super excited for all this stuff. And as always, just want to take some time to thank you guys, bro. The support has been fucking insane, dude. So just thank you guys so much for all the love. And just thank you guys for tuning in as usual, man. ZooMAFIA to the moon. You guys are insane. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Anchor.fm/The Flank. Check out audio sites around. Go follow at The Flank on Twitter. Gersh doing a phenomenal job running socials. And ZooMaa.gg for the merch. Again, we got a merch shop coming soon. So make sure to keep an eye out there. And what am I missing? And then the community. Join the community as well on Twitter. If you're not in the community, it's pinned. It's spotlighted to the top of my profile on X or on Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days. So join the community if you're not in there already. You get some updates with the streams and the shows and everything you need. Will come through that community. So make sure to check it out. Thank you guys all so much for all the love, man. Take care. Brush your hair. And we'll see you guys next time at another episode of The Flank, man. Take it easy. Slowly. Peace out.